Thank you to the Board of Trustees, faculty, administration, and my fellow students. The real world can be pretty tough. After undergraduate, I was experiencing a bit of euphoria. I thought I was going to change the world. Well, 7 years, 21 children's shows, and an uncountable number of students later, I had not changed the world, but the world had changed me. I was tired and I was jaded. I found myself with my feet in two worlds. One foot in justice, love, and a firm belief that art can change the world, and the other in bills, loans, rent, and yes, I will take that job because I need the money. Often, this work wasn't so much about creativity as it was about forms, spreadsheets, and putting on a show for under $300. I found I would sacrifice my creative passions to feed necessity. The cool thing about grad school is some of those pressures fade. Not that bills disappear, mine still kept coming every month, but these past few years, life's focus became about feeding that creativity with new questions and ideas. Necessity became about allowing myself to continue in those questions. For example, how often in the real world can we say to our boss, I'm not going to work that extra shift because I have a project I really want to finish, or a book I'm going to finish reading, or a chapter in my novel I am just about to complete. But over the past few years, we were given that freedom. For me, this freedom was rooted in discovering new thinkers that shaped my interest in social justice and art. Yet, this dilemma was encountered as I considered where my studies were taking me. Luckily, while at Emerson, I was introduced to two writers and thinkers that helped me through these two arenas I straddled. Audre Lorde addresses this problem in her speech, The Uses of the Erotic, given at Mount Holyoke College in 1978. In her speech, she defines erotic, and I'm paraphrasing her words, as coming from the Greek word eros, the god of passion and of love. The erotic is our passion. She says once we have experienced passion in our world, no self-respecting person can or should require less of their work. The principal horror of a society that requires us to sacrifice passion for necessity is cruel and without love. However, in our present culture, we cannot easily disregard necessity. And as participants in this world and as creative thinkers, we are required to live on the margins between these two options. Bell Hooks, as well, speaks of living in the margins and discusses this in Choosing the Margins as a space of radical openness. She expresses this conflict within her academic world that has limited understanding of her Southern Black roots. In contrast, her family has limited understanding or respect for her academic pursuits. Yet, she warns against the temptation to yearn for the center, claiming she has found a home and a mission in the margins. She defines margins as the site of radical possibility, a space of resistance. And margins, she says, nourishes our capacity to resist. As writers, thinkers, filmmakers, marketers, educators, journalists, therapists, and artists, one of our margins is this above dilemma. One foot in necessity and another in passion. Bills and loans versus activism, change, and love. I don't think any of us want to let the hurdles and difficulties of life be cruel and pull us into the center of necessity, forgetting our passions. I want to take up this tension as my personal form of resistance. I would love for you to join me. Thank you.